Welcome to the Take a Listing Today podcast, where our hosts Jim Studebaker and Todd Robertson give you strategies to get you out of the office right now so you can take a new listing today. And now, here's Jim and Todd.
Hey, that's us. Welcome to the Take a Listing Today podcast. Jim Studebaker here and Todd Robertson, as always, over
and
there.
Our wonderful producer, Lisa Gray, over here.
Woo!
Oh, thank you.
Yes, there she is. Welcome to our show today. It's now seen and heard on great stations like iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and maybe some other places. Bathroom walls? No, that's our...
Well, yeah,
okay,
that's
probably not it.
Don't read that. Don't read that if you see that there.
On today's show, how about 4 ways to generate listings on Nextdoor that you may not have considered? That should be pretty exciting. I'm sure everybody has heard of Nextdoor.
Exactly.
Right?
That's the app Nextdoor. If you don't have it, you could download it on your smartphone. Probably half of you listening or more have that app. So we're going to go over some ways that you can turn that into another system in place.
Yeah. Well, let's get right into it, shall we? If you're interested in casting a wider net with your listing generating methods, you may want to consider hanging out at nextdoor.com if you're not doing that already. Now, what exactly is Nextdoor? It is a neighborhood forum with homeowners comprising 75% of the members. Furthermore, at least 25% of the conversations on Nextdoor involve real estate topics. Now, the criteria for joining Nextdoor: you must be a resident of a specific neighborhood or own a second home there to join. From there, the platform works like most other social networking sites with a few important distinctions. And what are they?
Oh, we're going to get into some
asked.
great... Exactly. We're going to get into some great ways that you could utilize this, and you could utilize it gently, join some forums. So there's some great applications as opposed to just get on there and check some stuff now and again, but some engagement.
Exactly. Yeah. So how can you, as a real estate professional, generate some activity on Nextdoor? Well, you won't become a listing generating superstar overnight on this platform, but the emphasis here is on building relationships and trust. That is really the key. Now, there are rules about how businesses can and can't advertise on Nextdoor. The most important one to remember is promoting your business is prohibited in the newsfeed. The only time it's acceptable is in response to a post asking for an agent recommendation. Now, lucky for you, recommendation requests make up the bulk of Nextdoor posts in the newsfeed.
Exactly. Recommendations are huge. People go there for if they want to find a housekeeper, if they want to find recommendations are huge, a dentist. And real estate comes up, and we're going to get into, you can actually sponsor that neighborhood. And I've talked to realtors, there are waiting lists because when that comes up, it says that agent is sponsoring that area. So that is a huge thing to pull off if you can.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And that's the most obvious way and I'm using the word obvious again, is sponsoring. There are some more indirect ways of getting your information out there and getting yourself exposed to the neighborhood. And so many agents nowadays love promoting themselves within their own neighborhoods. I mean, what a smart idea. I love when I see postcards going out that say, I'm your neighbor. I'm a real estate agent and I'm your neighbor. I mean, how great is that? Because why wouldn't I want to work with someone who's right down the road from me? Boy, do they understand the neighborhood. But yeah, there are indirect ways to engage. And as you said in the news feed, you can respond to these recommendations that people are posting, inquiring about. They could be, the great thing about agents is they're not so networked. So can you imagine all the things that you could respond to that have to do with recommendations for different types of handymen, electricians, plumbers, etc. And each time you're getting your name and your information out there when you're engaging in these posts.
Excellent. So we've come up with 4 ways. I'll be honest, Todd. Lisa came up with these 4 ways.
Correct. For us. For us, right.
Lisa came up with 4 ways to generate listing leads on Nextdoor. Here they are. Number 1, create a free business page.
Now, think about that. A lot of people say, oh my gosh, it's hard out there. I can't do marketing. A free business page does exist. Most people don't know that. The app is free and you could create a free business page. Zero money so far.
Okay, so far so good. Number 2, post about open houses in the events section.
Exactly. And you want to get really into that. Post about the open house. How much traffic was there? What was the excitement level? Just whatever it is to keep the engagement going. People love that.
Right. Well, and agents love doing events in general. And, you've got to get invitations out. There's ways that you try and get that certain neighborhood you're going after to show up at these events. Well, if you are actually going after your own neighborhood, here's another way to let your neighborhood know, I've got this event going on. In addition to an open house, it could be any type of event that you're doing in a local park or something. I've got this event going on, and it's a more intimate way of letting them know. You're actually on Nextdoor, you're their neighbor, and you're saying, hey, this is going on at the park this weekend. Please come.
And it's credibility because they know if you're on Nextdoor, you've gone through the process to get in there. So it's legitimate. It's not just, it's not.
Right. Love it.
All right. Number 3, join some groups.
Exactly. Find some things that you're into, like Lisa mentioned, and it could be real estate, it could be some other things, and stay active in those groups.
Right. Let's say you're into gardening or you're a golfer, or there's so many different things. It could be tennis, whatever. Join groups for that. And just engage, to talk about things. Post different things about some gardening you're doing, or maybe there's issues you're having with a certain plant, or you see somebody else engaging on a certain topic with plants that you've dealt with before, and you can respond to that. And now this is so authentic. You're authentically getting involved with your neighborhood. People are every time they see your name, they're getting to know you better. They're building trust with you, and they're remembering you, right? Because isn't that the key with an agent? If somebody doesn't hear from you for a couple months, they forget you're an agent. Maybe you're right in the neighborhood and you introduced yourself 2 months ago to a neighbor down the street. Yeah, I'm a real estate agent. They've already forgotten it. But if you're next door and you're posting all the time.
Exactly. And if you're a ProspectsPLUS agent, if you're on Nextdoor, guess what you're also doing? Some type of mailing or campaign or market dominate or something. So you're on here. So they're not going to forget you because you're doing other stuff, whether it's a magazine, whether it's a campaign of sorts.
Yeah, it's like layering the marketing.
Layering. Speaking of layering, we're at number 4. Number 4 is don't stick to the obvious real estate related groups. Join some that match your interests.
Right, and we just covered that. So join some real estate groups that hit home for you. But if you have some other interests, like Lisa said, tennis, boom, boom, boom. So you might be the only realtor in there, and indirectly, that's some soft prospecting. Really.
Right. Now, when you are in these groups, post and respond often so that neighbors get to know you. And as a bonus idea, create your own group. You could call it something like Ask Your Neighborhood Real Estate Agent for Tips.
And you know what? I love that because I didn't even know that was possible. Yeah. That's great. So
I saw I was reading something about Nextdoor, and this handyman in a neighborhood created a group called Ask Your Neighborhood Handyman for Tips.
Okay.
And I thought, what a great idea, because everybody has issues with their home, right? So you go in there, hey, I'm having this issue with this leak. Do you have any ideas where it's coming from? The guy's going to respond to that. Now I'm getting to know him as a knowledgeable, educated handyman who can handle certain types of things, maybe with plumbing, maybe with a roof leak, I don't know, whatever it is. Who am I going to turn to when I need a handyman? Probably call this guy. Maybe I didn't even know he existed until I saw that group. So I love it. That is such a great indirect way.
Right.
So you do something like a group called Ask Your Neighborhood Real Estate Agent for Tips. You better believe people are going to go there. Hey, I heard the market is shifting or rates are going up. Is this true? Is this just something people are talking about? I guarantee you people will go into that group and be posting.
Right. And some are going to ask a lot of questions for the future, and some might turn into a listing presentation today. The name of the show, Take a Listing Today. So we're going to give you stuff to accelerate the process.
Right.
Well, and we, you and I were talking in the pre-meeting about this idea of today versus the future. And I use the analogy, of course, the famous analogy of the tortoise and the hare.
Oh, yes.
The hare is running around, just grab a listing, not thinking for the future. At the end of the race, the hare still is back at the beginning, right? They haven't gained any ground other than the listing as they go. The tortoise is moving slowly, but along the way is building this huge network of people.
Exactly.
And that's kind of what you're trying to do with something like Nextdoor, is over time, you're building this network. At the end of the race, you're connected to all these people.
Nice. So that's the group called Ask Your Neighborhood Real Estate Agent for Tips. Now, do not call it Your Neighborhood Real Estate Agent Works for Tips. That's completely different.
Some of them might.
They might, but you probably don't want to name your group that.
No.
So, here's some things not to do in addition to naming your group poorly.
This is probably more important.
Right. Whenever someone posts about possibly buying or selling a home, agents naturally jump into the thread. It's embarrassing, really. because they all pretty much have the same spiel. One agent in my neighborhood chimed in with her response to a post from a tenant in the area. Here's what happened. The tenant wanted to know if she could negotiate with her property management firm for a lower rent increase. This agent responded that by law, the landlord cannot increase the rent over a certain percentage. Here's the problem. In the city where this is located, there is no rent control. So if this agent is such an expert, as she said she was, why didn't she know this?
Yeah.
That was a collective right there.
Yes, that was a good one.
Yeah, so just be careful. You know, I know you're excited to respond, but really think it over.
Right.
All right. One last tip before you respond to a post. Read the responses from other agents. Make sure that you stand out. Make sure your response is different and as engaging as possible. And then ensure that your advice is accurate. Proof your post before publishing it. Now, the Nextdoor platform may not be for everybody, but if you currently farm your own neighborhood, it might be the place for you.
And I would say this, 100% the answer is yes. Why? It's a free app to download. You've got to go through a little bit of process, but when you do, you're verified, you're 1,000% legit. And you can start doing some of these things, whatever you feel comfortable with, right? In terms of engagement. But it is a beautiful resource. Yeah. And I would say most people know about it, but not everybody.
Right.
Well, this has been a nice, efficient show. We're only 12 minutes into it, and we're done.
Yes.
All right.
No, we're going to pick up the phone and make a call now.
Call. Nice.
More time for a phone call.
We get to give away money. That's our favorite part of the show.
Well, after last week's 3-hour show, it's nice that we had a shorter show.
Well, for those people that needed that, we gave them that. And,
exactly.
Yeah.
So where did that stack go? Oh, here we are.
Okay.
All right. So we have this stack of postcards here from our friends at ProspectsPLUS.com. This represents like part of what went out for one day, just of the jumbo size.
We just grabbed those in the
postcards.
Back,
yeah? So, Todd, would you do the honors and grab one, pass it to Lisa, maybe pass your glasses to Lisa, and we'll see if we can.
I do have some. It's just I can't fit them in the. They won't.
Your head is too big.
You know
what do you say?
I have that problem with these on too.
I do have a big head actually. But okay, so these are one of our customers. I love it.
I'm assuming it would only be a customer sending out a postcard.
All right, now you're being a smart aleck. Nothing new.
Nothing new.
Fair enough.
He's just letting his personality shine.
Dim the shine a little.
Oh my.
Okay, Nancy.
Nancy's going to answer. We're live
there's
here.
a nice
Nancy Cummings.
Easy
Long
name,
and
Nancy.
Foster.
Oh.
This is a just sold. Wow, it's
out in Maryland or Virginia or DC?
Yeah, it's a beautiful row home. Let me see. Maryland.
Okay.
Good
nice.
One. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Hello.
Hello, is this Nancy?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Nancy. This is Jim, and I'm with Todd and Lisa. We're on the Take a Listing Today podcast. We're calling on behalf of Prospects Plus. I believe they do your postcards for you. Does that sound right?
Yes, they do. Yes.
You are live on the show. We wanted to congratulate you and give you a chance to win a gift card for anything, $100 on Prospects Plus. How does that sound?
Sure.
She's thinking about it.
Beautiful. Tell us about your postcard. Are you doing a campaign, or what inspired you to put that one out?
Yeah. I do all my listings just listed and just sold.
Okay, well.
Very nice.
This photo of this house is just gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah, well, congratulations on another sold.
My son does the photography.
Oh my gosh, he's really talented. It's beautiful.
Yeah, congratulations on another sold property, and ProspectsPlus.com appreciate your business. And in fact, we would love to give you a chance to win a $100 gift card to use on almost anything on ProspectsPlus.com, along with a couple of wonderful things like a Take a Listing Today podcast coffee mug. We've got a t-shirt.
And
we have Todd's latest book, Become a Listing Legend. You might already be a listing legend, Nancy, but if you are still working, still learning, we'd love to send you a copy of that as well. How does that sound?
Sure.
We're going to ask you a question. You got to get it right. Jim, explain how the game goes, please.
Nancy, first of all, I have to ask you to calm down a little bit. We appreciate your excitement here, but...
All right.
So what I'm going to do is ask you a question, and to make it easy on you, we have 3 possible answers. So you just tell me which answer is the correct one. Fair enough?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Sounds great. Okay.
Here we go, Nancy. Here is your question. What planet is the hottest in our solar system? Is it A, Mercury, B, Venus, or C, Jupiter?
$100 on the line. You got
Hoping
this.
for the sun.
That would have been good.
Yeah, I don't know. Say them again, please.
Sure. Mercury, Venus, or Jupiter?
Mercury, Venus, or Jupiter?
Yep.
Mercury.
Her answer is Mercury. Is Mercury the right answer?
Oh, you would have loved it. You would have loved the mugs. The shirt was incredible.
That is unfortunate.
You know what? Let's give her another chance. She's been a trooper.
Yes.
Let's do that. The correct answer was Venus.
Oh.
Venus is the hottest planet.
Nancy, that was an unfair question anyway, wasn't it?
I know nothing about the planet.
I know.
We noticed,
except the one you live on. Right?
Right.
How is your knowledge of farm animals, Nancy?
Yeah, now we're going into farm animal category.
God.
Oh God, she said.
Okay, I'll try.
I don't pick him out, but we do have another question for you. Here it is. What is a female donkey called? Is it A, a Jenny, B, a Sally, or C, a Lisa? Oh. Did they name that after you, Lisa?
Oh, boy.
That could just get ugly.
It's getting bad.
You said A, which is a Jenny.
She went quickly. I think she knows the answer.
All right. Here's the answer. A Jenny.
Nancy!
Hey, congratulations. It is a Jenny. Todd,
Well
what does
done.
Nancy win?
Nancy, you won a $100 gift card to use on about anything on ProspectsPLUS.com website. You won a coffee mug, a t-shirt, and a signed copy of the book, Become a Listing Legend. Great job, Nancy, and keep up your postcards. You're doing great out there.
That's some quality stuff there.
Yeah, Nancy,
Thank you.
I'm going to email you your gift card code, and everything else will go out in the mail to you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show. Congratulations on your sale.
Thank you, Nancy, very much. All right. Look at that. A winner
Thank you,
every
Nancy.
time,
Take
huh?
care. I know, right?
That's pretty nice.
It's beautiful.
Pretty nice. Anything else?
Alisa, did you have that?
I do nothing. I just read them as I see them.
He does nothing. Right.
Would I add that?
You're going to find another farm animal question, and your name is going to be in the answer.
She's gonna want a table at the seat here pretty soon.
Okay. All right. Well, we hope you enjoy that. Today's podcast has been brought to you by our friends at Prospects Plus. Don't forget to visit their website at ProspectsPLUS.com. You'll find great things there that will make it easier for you to be a marketing superstar. Thank you very much for joining us today, and we'll see you once again next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.